So when your broker asks you what area classification or property classification are you looking at, how do you know? We're going to look at that today. So when we look at picking an area or picking a property, we're generally considering this in terms of classification. Is it an A, B, C, or D classification? Generally, there's two ways to look at it. You can look at it subjectively and objectively. Subjectively, you're driving through, you see the area, nice trees, new construction, area is meticulous, the landscaping, nice cars, lots of restaurants and other amenities. It's typically an A area. Then we turn the corner, we see buildings that are a little bit older, need some maintenance, but still generally solid. We turn the corner again, and all of a sudden you see graffiti, you see trash, you see buildings that look a little bit more abandoned properties. Those are generally D areas. Now, those are very subjective. It's very personal, it's a feeling. However, there are objective measures. There's data, there's information about crime stats, there's home values, employment data, notices about jobs coming into the area, city plans, path of progress. So there's very objective standards and data that we can use and implement to verify a certain area. One site we like is called Indicator.com. It's a site that takes dozens of statistical information and combines it to develop a map on what side of the street is considered a B area, what side an A area, where to see. And you can actually see this on a map. And why is it important? Well, because your bank, your financing is going to look at this information. They're going to determine if they're going to give you a loan based on the area, based on this information. Also, your investors are going to want to know that you are also considering the area classification. Is it an A, B, C, or D? You should know that, especially if you're going to talk with investors. In addition, it's important that you understand that as well, because that's going to give you a gauge on what type of residents and properties you should be looking at to see if you can implement certain value plays in certain areas. So that's the area classification. There's also something called a property classification. What you see here is really a bell curve. It's an A, B, C, D bell curve. Typically, an A property will have new construction. However, there are older, more mature buildings that still maintain an A classification because it's an amenity-rich property. Property values have been high in the area. They're getting significantly higher rents in that area, so it's still considered an A property. You're looking at $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month in rent to be considered an A property. Now, the B and C properties, those are generally worker style housing, but still rents are respectable. And when we look at the other end of the spectrum, the D properties, deferred maintenance has been neglected. Units are generally smaller. Vacancies are kind of in question. It's much sketchier. In fact, the way I look at it, this is just me, the way I look at it. In a D area, am I willing to pick up the rents in that area at night? If the answer is no, then it's a D property. It's not something I'm actually going to be looking to secure. I also wouldn't go collect rents. That's our property manager that would do that. However, it's an indicator for me to know, should I buy the property there or not? So, but why B and C assets? Well, B and C assets really are probably the most stable. In an upward economy, the D residents move into a C, the C move into a B, and the B move into an A property. In a declining market, the A residents move into a B property, the B to C, and C to D. When you look at the available pool of people in each of these classifications, the greatest number of potential renters are in the B to C area. Generally speaking, B to B minus to C plus is the greatest number of potential renters. I love the fact that there are a whole group of people that have the potential to rent from my properties in an up or down economy. So for me, that provides stability and safety for me to know that I won't be searching, I won't be charging too much, I won't be charging too little. It also gives me the greatest ability to implement our value plays. So when your broker asks you which class of property you're most interested in, you can be more informed on what class of property most suits you. We drop content every single week. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. My name is Phil Russo. Stay tuned and stay informed.